So when I started DJing was when hip hop got its official name.
Right. So I guess what I'm trying to get at here.
I think what you're saying is like hip hop, the culture was establishing, but hip hop records weren't really a thing yet.
Right. But what I'm saying is, how is that transition for you, having grown up with all this different kind of music going on, and then going, wait a minute, hip hop is really speaking to me. How does that happen?
Well, that is a great question because you just threw me the crazy assist in the sense that you're giving me the opportunity to say on this show with you guys and for the people that are watching and listening, hip hop is this label that we've attached and created to describe this genre, right?
Mm-hmm.
But at its core, hip hop is amorphous. And what I mean by that is there's no structure to it. There's no structure to it.
From everything.
Exactly. So hip hop to me in 1979 was Apache, the Incredible Bongo Band. That was hip hop. And then it became Hard Times, Run DMC. And then it became 2, 3, Break, B-Boys, Chuck Chill Out, Donald D. And then it became Divine Sounds, Do or Die Bed-Stuy. What I'm trying to say is that there was no transition that I needed to make mentally with regards to the music as a DJ that I was playing in hip-hop, because hip-hop has no structure. It's amorphous. You can't, at its core, you can't box it into anything, because the minute you do, it breaks out of that box and becomes trap.
Well, the other thing, Apache's not, at the time, is not considered hip-hop. It's just
Nothing
a
was.
record, right?
Well,
it's just a,
There's no such thing as hip hop.
Right. There's really no such thing. What hip hop is, if you want to get technical, it's a product that is described by having 4 elements to it: breaking, DJing, rapping, graffiti. And this product was packaged into a box by the likes of Africa Bambaataa and Fab Five Freddy. They had a ribbon wrapped over it, bows put on top, and then they gave it to Hollywood and was like, here, sell it, make movies. Wow. It was given as this packaged thing to the record industry. Here, now that we have this official thing called hip hop, this is what the albums could look like, because you have the imagery, the graffiti. This is what it should sound like. There's this scratching, you put this DJ on for the music videos, i.e. Buffalo Gals, Malcolm McLaren, world famous Supreme Team. That's a product that's being sold to people under the term hip hop. But, and I don't mean to get esoteric on you guys, right? But honestly, hip hop, it's action. It's something that you witness taking place. And then when the people, whether it's MCs and DJs, whether it's breakers going on the floor at a roller skating rink while Baby J is backspinning Apache, or whether it's what you see in the music video, like Malcolm McLaren, Buffalo Gals, graffiti, as you're hearing this music and it's cutting to a scene of someone doing a backspin or a headspin. Hip hop, in that sense, is this product that's been sold to people, but at its core, it's really the act of the backspin, or the act of the rapper rapping, or the act of the DJ using a turntable as an instrument, because he can't, for whatever reason, economics, politics, doesn't have access to music lessons, so he turns to a turntable as his instrument. A graffiti writer that isn't allowed inside an art school is going to use his city
canvas.
as a canvas,
Yeah.
right? The breaker that isn't allowed, maybe he doesn't have the money, him and his friends are poor, can't go to a dance studio, right? Or they're not allowed to dance inside nightclubs because they're dirty. Will dance at a park because it's free.
Yeah.
And no one can stop you from walking inside a park and dancing on concrete, right?
Yep.
That's wow.
For example, the rapper putting words together and rapping, right? He can't sing, but he's still expressing himself and his ideas and his feelings the way a singer would.
Right.
But he's doing it in this like bastard language sort of approach, you know, to like what a singer would,
Yeah.
right? Hip hop for me is something that happens, it's action, and then when it stops, it goes poof, it disappears, and you don't have hip hop anymore. You know what I mean? That to me is what hip hop is. And I get that like we live in a world where like we have to categorize things now and all that, but you couldn't tell me that what these kids were doing from, let's say, quote unquote 1973, the quote unquote first hip hop party, Kuherk, 1520 Cedric Avenue, to let's say 1983, right, when the movie Wild Style was released. To me, that's the most authentic hip hop film ever made. You couldn't tell me that they knew they were creating hip hop when they were rapping, or they were immersed in hip hop when they were breaking or DJing or writing graph. They were just expressing themselves. So hip hop to me is just expression, but the medium of expression runs counter to the norm. And it's
counterculture.
action. And once it stops, that's it. It's not hip hop anymore. So, you know, you can't take this water bottle. You can't take this water bottle and put Drake, Nicki Minaj, produced by Dr. Dre, and then stick it in the hip hop category of bottles, and then look at it and be like, that's hip hop.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
It's
right.
it to me, hip hop is action. It's what I was witnessing in the living room of my parents with my brother and his friends. Did people in the Bronx know that my brother was on my dad's turntables cutting it up and his friends were rapping?
Oh, that's what his friends were doing this.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what's happening. And then I'd be
Okay.
breaking
Okay.
in the middle of the living room
So you guys are putting all these pieces of the culture together in one
in
particular
one
spot.
place. Now,
So Rob created hip hop.
well, yeah, right. I wish.
No, it's deep. That's-
But yeah, it's like, so
deep.
is it not
Yeah.
hip hop because Debbie D wasn't there, and because Grandmaster Flash wasn't there, and because they weren't there to anoint
Yeah, sign off on it.
to sign off on it? No, that's hip hop.